In this episode, I am going to talk about how just starting is the first step. Stay tuned. Hey everyone, welcome to today's episode of Interview Connections TV. First, I just want to say thank you so much to everyone who commented and shared and liked and sent me private messages from last week's episode. If you didn't see it, go to interviewconnections.tv, and if you're watching this right around when I'm putting it out, it was last week's episode, but it's called I'm Not Perfect and Neither Are You. And I just talked about, I filmed it like right in the middle of a crazy Monday after driving home in the snow 5 hours from Pennsylvania and just really feeling like everything was a mess and everything was disorganized. And I just turned on the camera, filmed a quick episode. I had to get one out for Tuesday, and I think it was my most popular episode in almost a year of weekly videos. And it was not really surprising to me because I've been doing videos long enough where I can get a sense of kind of what kind of content, what kind of message really resonates with you watching, the people watching my videos. But it kind of struck up a lot of great conversation with fellow entrepreneur friends who are kind of waiting to get started. My good friend, Susie Miller. You can check her out at susiemiller.com. She is in my mastermind group. And after seeing that video, she turned on her camera and filmed a video too, put her first video out. I'm so proud of her. And I'm just so proud of everyone who kind of took that message and took action on something in their life. Because the other cool thing was on that video, a lot of people who aren't even entrepreneurs, who are friends of mine locally, were like, this is a great message just for life. So anyway, it's so funny, it's the video I just turned on and did out of nowhere, and it kind of turned out to be a really impactful one. So I'm grateful for you for letting me know that, and I'm happy that it was a great video. My episode today is kind of similar, kind of jumping off that, but it also was inspired by a conversation with a client today. And I was actually talking to one of my clients' assistants, who we were kind of getting everything together. His podcast is getting started. We're talking about how he's going to record it. Does he do Skype or instant teleseminar, and how are the graphics going to go, and just all those details. And what we were kind of saying, me and his assistant were saying, yeah, it all seems very confusing when you're starting a podcast, when you're starting to get videos out. Again, some friends of mine at Susie, I'll mention her again. She's starting to do her videos, and she's asking me some questions like, okay, so you upload them to Facebook, and then you put them on, and then you also put them on YouTube. And I can relate, because when I first started doing my podcast, when I first started doing videos, there were a lot of questions like, okay, what's an ID tag in iTunes, and how does the RSS feed work, and all that stuff. And it seems so overwhelming at first, and for the majority of people, that really keeps them from ever starting. It's kind of like when I'm trying to think of a good analogy here. I'm a big Walking Dead fan, so all I can think is like going through the woods. It's kind of like when you go into the woods, okay, let's actually do a Walking Dead analogy. When you approach the group of zombies, right? The group of walkers, and you have to kill them all. Once you get through that pack, you're on the other side, and you can keep walking down that road, okay? And it gets easier. Once you've been out in the wild for a longer, and you learn how to use your gun and use your sword and all that good stuff, it gets easier to live out in the wild. So if you're totally not a Walking Dead fan, sorry. Thank you for bearing with me for that analogy there. But that's just what I mean. When you start your podcast, when you start your videos, it is really confusing at first, and for a lot of people can say, oh, I don't understand any of this. But once you just figure it out, once you take action, outsource what you have no desire to learn or figure out, learn what you do want to keep in your house and do, and it is so much easier. My podcast comes out on Wednesdays. I'm filming this today on a Wednesday, and I'm listening. I'm like, wow, I sound so much better than I did in October when I launched. It's March now, and I outsource what I need to outsource, and everything runs pretty smoothly now, whereas at first it was like, oh my gosh, I have no idea what I'm doing, and what is this, and what is that. So if you are starting a podcast, if you are going to start videos, or whatever you're going to start, if you're starting something in life and you're not an entrepreneur, but you're checking this video out on Facebook, just get through those woods. Get through that first battle of zombies. You'll be so much better with your weapon on the other side, and you'll be so much stronger. So I hope this video helps you, hope it resonates with you. Tell me, leave a comment below, send me a private message. What are you starting? And what action are you going to take to get started? Are you going to start a podcast? What are you going to outsource? What are you going to learn? If it's confusing now, don't worry about it. If you want to start recording with Instantel Seminar, do that. You can switch over to Skype later if you want to do that. Just starting is the first step. Listen to my podcast, Roads to Success, at roadstosuccesspodcast.com, or you can go to rtspodcast.com. Check out interviewconnections.com to learn more about how we can help you book great guests for your podcast. Or if you are a guest expert, you want to start getting interviewed on podcasts, go to interviewconnections.com/guest. And I think that's it. So thanks everyone for joining me. Have a wonderful, productive week. And actually the day this interview is coming, or this interview, not this interview, the day this video is coming out is my son Nathan's 2nd birthday, March 10th. So I'm filming this before that. So we're having his birthday party coming up, but happy birthday, Nathan. Thanks everyone. Have a wonderful, productive week. Do lots of interviews, and I will talk to you next Tuesday.